So just to give an idea of what we're talking about today, Mazze gave a really good introduction. We have a few new updates that came down the pipe this last few months, and just wanted to give a little state of play update of where we're at and where we're headed in the upcoming weeks. So you can see what you can see some additional new functionality that'll be coming to you throughout February and March. So first off, we'll take a look at folders. So something that's been requested by a large portion of our customers is making sure that we have folders in our cloud directories. So we now have, or in our workspaces, so you now have the ability to create folders and build out your workspace just like you would your local directories. So in this case, I have like a ships folder, concepts folder there, or going to stations, I may have like a specific station. So you can build this out however you feel like your artists can best communicate with each other. And you can use your current folder structure just in our system as well. So something else that we've added as well is over on the left side, you'll see some pretty big changes to our navigation. What this allows you to do is access our accounts a lot easier, access your workspaces a lot easier, and quickly flip between them if you need to, especially for leads. This can, you'll have the need to probably flip through different workspaces or accounts if you're a contractor. So this allows you to quickly navigate through those. We also updated our settings. So you'll now have the ability to quickly manage all of your settings in one location, as well as your profile, and manage your licenses and team members all in one location. It's a lot simpler than where it was before. So we have those new controls. Creating new workspaces and accounts are easier than ever with the little plus buttons down below, and you can just go and create one right away. And also inviting got an update as well. So if you ever need to invite new people to or new members to your workspaces or accounts, you have the ability to do so right here. And it will just quickly link you out, and you can enter that email. The person that's receiving that will actually receive a notification right here. So they'll be able to see that notification and go right into the new account that they have access to. Yeah. And lastly, we'll talk through some of the notification improvements, change requests, and review requests that we've added with our feedback updates. So again, coming from our customers, they've been asking for a lot of changes on how we can communicate within mudstack, especially across assets. So what we started off with was just basically a straight comment system. And from the feedback, we've heard a lot of things around making sure we need to be a little bit more focused on the flow, on the workflow of getting change requests or going through specific levels of feedback. So what we have here is a method to specifically assign a user to a change that you would like to see on an asset, and also update the reviewers. So update the people that made the change request that a change has been made and they need to reapprove or ask for more changes. So in this case, I'm just going to use a file up here as an example, or a set of files as an example. So let's, in a hypothetical world, I'm working on a game. I have a set of I'm working on like a 4X game. I have a space station that I need to build. And in this one, I have a concept that I'm working on. And I'm working with another team member that's helping me go through the review process. So we can see that Alex over here has uploaded different versions of this concept. So we can start off with what he originally started on. And you'll be able to see, just like we have before, we have our versions, attachments, all of that, just like before. Going through the timeline, we can see that when he updated to the next version, I gave a change request that says like some of the shapes that he had on this specific version of the concept look a little too octagonal, and that doesn't really match the faction that we're trying to build for. So he should try and make a different shape there. So what that allows you to do is when I send this change request, they'll actually receive a task list over in the change request area here, where they can quickly go ahead and click on the file, see the information of what needs to get changed, and go ahead and make that change and upload the changes to the platform. Once those changes have been uploaded, up on the top in this review tab here, you'll actually see that this file is awaiting a review from me. And that's where this review request comes in. So if I'm ever assigned to look at something and approve it or say that there's something wrong with it, I'll see it in this task list right here under review request. And in this case, it was 2 hours ago, it was requested. And they're also stating that it's a request for the latest version. Since we already went through version 2 and version 3, I gave some additional information here in our comments. And lastly, we get to go through and leave an approval or request change comment here. So if I want to approve it, I can simply say like which version I'm trying to review right here with this dropdown. It'll automatically update the preview based off of whichever file you're looking at or whichever version you're looking at. I can type a message in here, just like with our old comment system. But now we have a few additional improvements here that can really help out with either notifying users or bringing other people in to look at things as well. So one thing we can do is I can actually @ specific people and mention them. This will actually show up in their notifications. So if I ever @ somebody, I can send a message like Alex did here. This station will be a shipyard too. Can you add a deck to one side? So we can have those types of comments directly available in notifications, and you can see those as they come in. You'll also be able to upload attachments directly to your comments, and you can do things like if you're using the snip tool or save and snip on Windows or screenshotting directly off your desktop on Mac, you'll be able to copy and paste those attachments directly into the comment itself. So there will be an improvement to add the thumbnail back into the comments so you can see the thumbnail as well. But for any comments that I had where I was like, hey, can you remove the top? They have that attachment right here where they can view it in here or download it and work on it off on their local computer. So going back here, once we go through the approval process, you'll see something like this pop up over on the files themselves whenever we're in the search view. So what you'll see up on the top left here is the change request. So it says that there's an open question that something needs to happen to this file. For the approvals, you'll have this green check. This is part of our current functionality even before this release, but we're just adding some additional ways to actually go through this process in a much smoother fashion. And you also have the ability to filter by review status now. So if you ever want to see like what are all the change requested files in my workspace, you have the ability to do so. This will be really helpful for producers that need to see how many things need to get done, how many things are left. How many things are actually approved, and you'll be able to see all of that information directly with the filter. And lastly, we have some additional functionality that we're going to be bringing to everyone within the next few weeks or so. The first big one is going to be local versions. So what local versions has is just like what you'll see over on the versions within our current application on the cloud. We're actually bringing some of that functionality over to local. This will help us when we're moving over to our sync functionality, where we can pass information freely between both local and cloud. This is like that precursor feature for that. So just to give you an idea of what that looks like, what you'll see over here is I'm actually on the local side, and I'm looking at one of my local directories. And whenever I do a save over top of a file, mudstack will actually track those local versions, and you'll be able to quickly preview any changes that you have. So in this case, you'll see this first version doesn't have a doc over on the left. And in this last version, you can see the doc has been added. So you'll have that capability in the platform, as well as going through an upload process here, where you can upload these versions. And if you have a file up in the cloud that matches the same relative path as what you have in the directory, it'll actually upload, and the same file name, it'll upload that file as a new version directly in the cloud as well. So everything keeps decent track. Some of this will have improvements later as we connect up local and cloud a little bit more. So you'll be able to track conflicts and things like that. But for this initial release, you'll be able to push files up that way.
Awesome.
Yep. And some other things, not necessarily going to show here, but since they're fairly self-explanatory. So we're doing some file upload and download improvements. What this means for everyone is that when you're dragging and dropping files in for upload, before there would be some additional cards that may cause a little confusion, we're actually moving to a system that's going to be over in the bottom left. That's kind of giving a progress bar in all the assets in totality. So that way your search doesn't feel as confusing. And for anything like attachments or file versions or new files, they'll all be handled over in this bottom section over on the bottom left sidebar. And lastly, we'll be going through some additional updates around moving files and going through renaming folders, things like that. You'll see some changes along those lines that's been requested quite frequently, and we know we needed to get to it, so we just kind of accelerated that and pushed that up in our timeline for our roadmap. Something else that's another quality of life improvement that you'll see coming up in more than likely next week, or could potentially be tomorrow, is changes to our local directories, where we can actually, if I click on a file here, you'll be able to go directly to the folder from clicking on here or from our right-click menu. So you'll have that ability within the application as well. So that way it's a lot easier to just get to the file in your Explorer, make the changes you need, save. When we have local versions, it'll automatically track those changes, and you can upload really quickly and easily in our platform. And yeah, that's essentially it. What you'll see in our roadmap for the next month or two are going to be primarily the local versions, uploading improvements, moving file improvements. What you'll see shortly after that is going to be related to our cloud versions and sync improvements. So that's finally closing the loop on the beta part of the application, and we'll be going into full live product at that point.
All right. Awesome, Joseph. Thank you so much. So I think that's just about all that we have for you guys today. Most of our changes are made due to feedback requests that we get from our users or from discussions with studios about what they're looking for in their tools that can help their workflow pipeline. So we always appreciate your feedback. Anytime that you have any questions, we're always available to talk on Discord. You've probably seen Joseph there. He's our main product guy over on Discord. And yeah, so I just wanted to thank you so much, Joseph, for walking us through this.
Absolutely.
And thank you all for everybody who attended.
Great.
If that's it, I'm going to
Okay.
go ahead and call it for the day.
Okay. See y'all.
See you later.